Hello and welcome to another edition of the Lynn Lowdown. And today we have two special guests from the adult foster care of the North Shore, Mr. Joseph Woodbury and Lori Ann Giamanco. Did I say that correctly?
Yes, you did.
All right. How are you all doing?
Good.
Very well. Very well. Thank you for having us.
No problem. Thank you. Thank you for coming on. All right. Now let's talk about the adult foster care real quick. Can you just give the audience a little background of the adult foster care?
Yeah, sure. We work with people that have certain personal care needs, live with a qualified caregiver, and thus stay in the community. And so we're actually an alternative to a nursing home placement or some other sort of a more restrictive model. And for the most part, these days, we work with families where there's a family member caring for another family member. And so it keeps families together as well.
Awesome. What's the age group that your company usually deals with?
Yeah, we are allowed to work with folks as young as 16, and there is no limit on the other side. We've worked with folks over 100 years old. But with 16, it's difficult because the parents are the guardians of the 16-year-old until that person turns 18. So it's probably more appropriate to say that we work with folks as young as 18.
Okay. Yeah. And Lori Ann, as a caregiver, there's so much responsibility that caregivers have as far as taking care of those that need a little assistance. Just talk about the experience of being a caregiver and just the overall day-to-day life.
I'm actually a care manager, so
Care
I come
manager.
in and I
No. Care manager, talk about the caregivers that you overlook. I'm sorry.
That's okay. So my role is to go into the homes monthly and work with the client and the caregiver together. And I can be as involved as they want me to be, or I can just do the bare minimum and come in once a month and touch base with them. It's really client-centered. And there's times where we, attend medical appointments with them. We set them up with services outside the home that they may need. We help them identify a day program, attend meetings for, their ISPs. Again, it's really client-centered, and it's based on the needs of the family.
What have you seen? What are some things that you've seen, or some of the information that you've gotten from the caregivers that report back to you? Some of the positive things that's happened.
Well, we've seen people improve. We've seen people come into the program with one issue, and then maybe there's other issues there that aren't even recognized by the family, and there's some depression related to it, and they're just not seeing why. And we, from an outside perspective, can come in and help them identify those issues and then set them up with the right services. And then, we do see improvements, with time.
Yeah, definitely.
Absolutely.
Can you both just speak on COVID and how it affected it affected a lot of the elderlies? COVID affected them as far as, they were affected the most through it. Can you guys just talk about a little bit about COVID and how you guys were all able to get through it and still keep business going as well?
Certainly.
Yeah. Go ahead, Lori Ann, because you were the one out there doing it.
Yeah. We did some telehealth for a little while, for a short time. And then it's important that we actually see our people in person. So we made some adaptations, sometimes yard visits until clients and caregivers felt a little bit more comfortable, but it certainly did affect the families, and not just the elderly. I had quite a few clients who are younger, possibly on the autistic spectrum, attend day programs, and not having that structure has really affected their day-to-day lives. That's something that's predictable and that they rely on, and it's safe for them. And they're not quite sure what to do with all this time without structure. So while many of them do a 10-day program, via a Zoom platform or something similar, they're just not getting that same one-to-one interaction. So I've seen clients decline physically and emotionally. And that's something that we're still very much working on. There's a lack of staffing in a lot of programs, and it's really difficult to get these clients back into their routines because of that.
So we ended up beefing up our service as well, having more contact with these families. Some of our clients and caregivers got COVID. And so there were certain things that we needed to do to make sure that they had the right PPE, masks and gloves and other things that they may have needed to remain safer at home. Also, Mass Health pays for this service, and they allowed for some flexibilities. So we were able to not have to worry about certain things that we collect and that we do, so that we could fully focus on the families more so.
And you just talked about not enough staffing. Am I correct? You just said that, Lori?
Yes, not within our agency, but certainly within many of the day programs and the transportation companies that provide the transportation to these programs and medical appointments.
Yeah, how's the company working on trying to improve that? How's it trying to get more staffing or get more help and get more people involved? Because now during these times it's kind of difficult for companies to hire people. There's so many things happening and sometimes so many restrictions and stuff. But how are you guys addressing that issue?
Again, a case by case basis. It depends on the needs of the family. I have a handful of families that are really struggling with this right now. And I can't magically make staffing appear, but what I can do is advocate for their needs. And we're in touch with DDS, we're in touch with the day programs, and advocating for a placement as soon as possible. And when we can't have that placement at the moment, finding alternatives.
Yeah. Is there an area that has a little more that you guys are focused more than other, or is this all around? I mean, any places in the area?
You mean geographically?
Yes.
Yeah, we cover all of Essex County, and we cover 9 communities in Eastern Middlesex County. So we have a pretty broad range. And like Lorianne was saying, we do a lot of advocating, and if we can't help a person receive something they need right now, we're also working on trying to find companions, people that can come in and take that person out and have some that, like Lorianne said, that one-on-one time and a little bit of structured time, some enjoyment. So these are things that we've been doing very actively for the last year.
Yeah.
The other thing we did was the beginning of the pandemic, collectively, it's a great team of people that work at Adult Foster Care of the North Shore, and very creative, very caring. We all work together, and we put together gift baskets for the clients to keep them occupied that had puzzles and arts and crafts and, coloring books, things that could make them, structure their days a little bit better. And then we hand delivered them.
And Lorianne, who was behind that project?
That was everybody in the agency.
No, it was you.
It was me, yes.
She's just being humble to us right now.
It was me with a lot of help and a lot of input from others.
Yeah, that's great that you got so many assistants from your team. Moving forward, as we're in July now. It's like the year is going by so fast.
Yeah.
Moving forward, what are some of the stuff that you all have lined up for the rest of the year? Any events or any programs that you guys are working on?
Yeah, we have an annual lobster party that we provide for our caregivers and clients, just to thank them, because without them, there's no agency. And so that's happening in August. It happens every year in August. And as far as other events, it's been really difficult. Even now it's difficult because certain venues aren't open. We look into different things that we can do, but the lobster party seems to be on. And so that's something that's pretty exciting for our families.
They certainly look forward to it every year. I have many people talking about what costume they'll wear. It's a themed event. So.
Oh, it is.
Now, what, like healthcare is so important. This is one of the fields that's really been hit hard. Can you guys just talk about your roles and how much that you guys have had to sacrifice the past year just to make sure that everybody is getting things done? Your clients are being able to do certain things because there's so much restrictions. Can you guys just talk about your roles and just the whole overall the past year for you all in your roles?
Lorianne, it comes down to our nurses and care managers. We talked about and implemented a lot of different things to make sure that our staff had what they needed to bring to the families, so the families had what they needed to stay safe. Lurian, do you have input on that?
Yeah, I mean, I'll say, you know, in this role, you really develop a rapport with the families. You know, you're not just a professional and a client caregiver, you become family in essence. So, you know, even if there's not the regular monthly, you know, check-in, there's frequently phone calls, pictures, you know, caregivers will text pictures of things that they're doing, maybe playing puzzles or singing karaoke. So I wouldn't call it a sacrifice. I think we just really amped our creativity and made sure that we were consistently more in contact with everybody.
Definitely. It's great work. That's great work, especially with so many businesses were hit hard last year, and you guys were able to overcome that. That is just great work, and you're still providing care for those that need it. That's just something that needs to be acknowledged and be highlighted.
We appreciate that. And one good thing about the fact that Mass Health pays us is we as an agency didn't take a cut last year. So we were able to take that extra that wasn't going towards things like mileage and other things that we do and really put it into the needs of the families. And so that was something that we were very happy to be able to do.
Definitely. All right, running out of time, but can you all just please share your websites, social media pages, contacts for everyone to know if they want to find out more about adult foster care, or if they want to get a caregiver for one of their relatives? Please let them know all the vital information.
Yeah, we are Adult Foster Care, N as in Nancy, S as in Sam.com. And then right there are all the social media links that we have.
Awesome. And Lori, if they want to get in contact with you,
they can call me directly on my cell phone. They can call me at 508-284-2028. Or let me see. Of course, I never call the office. So the office phone number is Joe.
Yes, not 978.
Yes.
281-2612.
There you go. And Deanna is your lady. She can help you with any questions.
Yeah, the office is really the place to start with because that's where everything gets going.
All right. It was great having you guys on. Hopefully we can get you guys to come in the studio when we fix our technical difficulties, but definitely great of the work that you guys are doing. Continue doing the great work, and we really appreciate you guys taking some time to come and chat with us about the adult foster care of the North Shore.
Thanks for having us.
Thank you for having us.
Not a problem. You guys have been watching the Lynn Lowdown. Have a great day.
All right. Bye-bye.